All right, welcome back to the shop. So I've got another video on this 2019 Chevy 5500 HD service truck. So in other videos I've done on this, I've talked about how bad the ride is. The bad is just atrocious in this thing. We've done the rear springs. Actually, I had them done twice. I've done the front springs. We beefed those up. That helped out a lot. I've changed the front shocks. That helped a tiny bit. I bought some rear airbags from San Diego. What is this, SD Leaf Spring Supply or something like that, or San Diego Air Spring or whatever they're called. They didn't help at all. They're not a bit. It raises the back up a little bit, but it doesn't really help the ride much. So then I was actually on a forum, on a Duramax forum, and kind of got in a conversation with some other stuff about this truck, and I shared one of my videos with one of the guys on there. A guy named Sambor is his username, and he told me about Monroe truck smooth ride system. He said that he saw a video on it somewhere, so I contacted a guy named Dan Kubley at monroetruck.com, and I asked him about this air ride system, and he said, yeah, we have that. We made a deal. He shipped me a set. We just got them the other day, and this is what came. So I've got these air ride struts. Got all the brackets, got a box full of stuff, air fittings, leveling valve, everything like that. I've got a 14-page instruction manual for it, and that's what we're going to do today. We're going to take and so we've got this thing near the lift here. We're going to have to support the rear of the cab. We're going to take these rear brackets are going to come off. So we've got to get the plasma cutter, cut those huck bolts off, unbolt this thing, and get these rear brackets out. And we're going to mount the new brackets and get this thing installed. And then we're going to do the air system on it. I'm not sure if I'm going to show plumbing the air system and everything on this video. I'm just going to for sure show installing the air ride system. And then we'll see how the rest of the video goes if we're going to show plumbing and all that. That's just kind of boring junk that you guys really don't need to see on it. But anyways, let's get to it. We have to take the fuel filter housing, and we have to unbolt it from the frame. I'm not sure yet what we're going to do with that, if it's just going to swing out of the way or whatever. Hopefully it just swings out of the way and we don't have to actually take the whole thing off. It just says remove the filter on the inside of the driver's side frame. So we're getting to that right now. Alex is under there doing that. And then we remove the old cab brackets. And looks like there's 4 regular bolts and then 2 huck bolts. And we have to cut the huck bolts with the plasma cutter. So we'll get to that. We're going to get the filter out of the way, then we'll do that. We'll cut these 2 huck bolts, we'll unbolt these. And then it says to just lift up the cab slightly, and it's just supported with these 2 2x4s. And then we'll get to that far, and then we'll get to the rest of the directions.
Can you get like a 15?
So Alex just asked me to get him a 15mm wrench. What the frick is a 15mm wrench? We work on Caterpillar. It goes from 16 to 18. There's nothing in between. All right, so Alex just got the bottom bolt out on this fuel filter. And I don't know if it's GM's fault or if it's International's fault, but that was a 15mm. Now the next one's a 14mm. Trying to hold it for you.
75 years later. Early the next morning.
All right, so we got those 2 15mm bolts out. We're just cutting some wire or some zip ties here, and then we'll see what this unit does. I'm hoping it just pushes out of the way enough to be able to work on this, because I really do not want to disconnect fuel lines. So we'll see here in a second what we get. There's another ECM mounted there too. I don't know what that ECM is for. And there's another ECM on the passenger side right here, right behind this other cab mount. Any of you guys that work on these trucks watching the video, if you know, let me know in the comments what those are. Makes me nervous having that many ECMs on a truck, because I'm sure there's another one up by the engine as well. Yeah. Well, I know there is on the left side. I hate ECMs on these vehicles when they go bad, and they cost you $1,000, and then they cost you $300 to have them programmed, and it's just not cool. Just as long as it gets out of the way enough for us to get the bolts out of that mount.
Oh, these things are hard lines.
Is that enough just to be able to, so we can get to the bolts on the back of the mount? maybe we could put a ratchet strap on and just pull it towards the drive shaft or something, or
Yeah, these guys here.
yeah, it's gonna be 4 bolts, and then the 2 bottom ones are huck bolts that I cut off, and then the top 4 ones are gonna be just bolts.
Yeah, we can do that. That'll be okay.
Okay, so we're just gonna get. Are we gonna put? You want to put a ratchet strap on it, or what do you?
No, I'll just hold it out of the way like that.
Okay.
Or I'll just zip tie it up.
Okay. All right, we're gonna go ahead and just kind of zip tie this thing up out of the way or something as far as we can, and then I'll get the plasma cutter out while he's doing that, so we can cut those huck bolts off. Yeah, it's a real pain cutting through these. You can't get the torch up against there. And then I don't know why this thing was just not trying to push through it. But I've got this, I just got knocked out with a hammer, then I get in here with the plasma, just kind of try to cut the rest of that off there. And then I'll come in here and cut this one. Sure is nice in here. We moved the compressor outside, and I can barely hear the compressor now. Remember when that thing would have just been blasting through the shop?
You would not be filming right now.
It's really nice. The people in the apartments behind us get to listen to it now. That's why it was full of dirt. That's why it wouldn't cut right. So remember, kids, electricity will kill you, so always keep your safety squints on. And then this one here is very important. Always keep your mom on speed dial. All right, so we just got the chipping gun to go ahead and knock these out. And the first one knocked out right away. The second one, oh, we just got the chipping gun stuck in there. And we got the light in my eyes. So yeah, the hook bolts came out. Not too much of a problem. That's what they are. These things are like real high strength bolts that they use on these frames now, and it's a special tool you got to use, and it tightens the crap out of it. So, all right, we're trying desperately to get these bolts out here. You have to see these nuts are welded to the bracket, and there's not much room on this one here to be able to get an impact in there. And we're trying really hard to not have to cut that or to remove the fuel filter, because that's just going to have fuel all over. It's going to be a pain. Really want to keep that sealed, so I might have to cut these welds here on these nuts so we could pull the nuts off and then deal with it from the outside, because they're really tight. He got one out, and there's not really room for a bigger impact or anything like that. But if he can get on them on the bolt side, I'm going to try heating the nuts up. At least that'll swell them up and get them out. And if we just can't access some of the bolts, we're going to have to just cut that tack weld off. So I've got the torch out ready to go in case we have to do that. I'm sure the right side's going to be a lot easier because it's just a lot more access to that one. But we're doing the hardest one first, of course. Trying to get you. All right, so we're going to try heating those nuts up and get the torch fired up here, and then that should do it. Gotta try not to catch the tab on fire. All right, we're gonna try my other impact. I've got another 1/2 inch, the one we keep in the service truck. It's got more power than the other one. And we've also tried the air compressor system from the truck, because has, you know, bigger hoses going to it. It's not going through the small reel like the shop one is. Let's give that a try.
Can you try airing me out before I start?
Yeah, let me start this up. Switched impacts, and it took one smack with that other impact. So it's amazing what tooling can do for you. The other one, it's a 1/2 inch drive Ingersoll Rand, a really nice one, but it's 5 years old. It's kind of wore out a little bit. Yeah, it makes a big difference to take care of your tools and have good tools. I gotta go ahead and film this one up too. So for those of you that don't know, when I heat up this nut, it'll cause the whole nut to expand. You tell that it's not tight. Alright. Okay, hold on with that. We got to support the cab now. Alright, so we've got the 2 huck bolts cut. We've got 3 of the bolts removed. We just have 1 tightened still. And now we're going to get some support on the cab here. So we get that last bolt out, then we can unbolt the cab mount bracket, or bolt here off the bracket, and drop that whole bracket out of there. And then we'll go to the other side, do the same thing, and then we'll set the cab up on some blocks like they show, and then we'll be able to install the new brackets. All right, so we had to stop and do a little maintenance to the plasma cutter. Look how wore out this tip is. It was time to change them. So anyways, we got that done. Next step is going to be, once he gets that off, we've got to use these spot weld drills that I have. I've got different kinds of spot weld drills. I got these ones here. They start in the center, and then they just kind of, almost like a mill. And I got these other ones. They go on this adapter. And you drill through, and then these kind of look like a mill cutter too, and they just cut out the spot weld on the one side of the sheet metal. So we'll have to cut those out to get another bracket off of here. Right here, there's this bracket under the cab. You have to drill out these 4 spot welds and remove that plate, and then we add this plate to it to replace it. Alright, so now we're just pulling these vertical bolts right here. We're not sure if there's a welded on nut there or not. We're going to find out in just a second here. See how it's going to be a pain in the butt or if it's going to be friendly.
Looks like it's friendly.
Alright, got that out. I'm just going to slide this bracket out of the way. We stuck a safety bolt in there when I was cutting that last bolt, and it's probably going to come back to bite us right now.
Oh, God, that's hot.
Yeah. Alright, so this is the bracket we're going to have to remove. There's going to be the 4 spot welds on it that we have to remove, this thing here. And then, so we'll start drilling that out now. And then we will, actually before we do that, we're going to put some blocks under the cab here to the frame, just for safety in case our blocks kick out right here. It won't fall very far if it does, but we don't want to mess anything up. So we'll get that, and then we'll remove this piece here. Alright, check it. Yeah, looks like it might be through.
I think almost.
I see like a crack on one. Just get them close and we'll try tapping it off. So here's the plate. We got those spot welds drilled out. And then once you get it off, then you have to go in there with a grinder and just grind the surface where this was flat to get all the burrs off from the spot welds. And here's some stuff I didn't show you guys before that was in the kit. You know, this isn't sponsored or anything. I paid for this, and I told them I was going to do a video on it after I bought it, just to make sure they were okay with me doing it. But it comes with all the hardware you need. Comes with all the air fittings that you'll need. Comes with a leveling valve. Comes with an air regulator. Comes with all the air hose and everything that you're going to need for this thing. So it's a pretty cool kit. Alright, here's the bracket on the driver's side. We still have to put this tech screw in that side. He's putting that one on over there. Just running that self-tapping tech screw in right now. And then next we just need to wipe this dirt off, and then we can go ahead and hang the bracket on this side. We'll hang the bracket on that side. Then we can put the struts in, and then that's it for that physical part of that installation. The rest is going to be mounting the leveling valve and all the air system.
Nice.
There. So we just put the 6 bolts in. He slid the bracket on. We'll get put the nuts on the outside. That way we can get it tighter with the impact. So we can just tighten it from the outside. After it gets that tightened up, we can put that strut in there. But we'll put both brackets in, and then we'll come back and put the struts in, because we'll probably have to raise or lower the cab to do it. Yeah, the lock nuts, so it's going to take a bit. All right, we got the arms out there. We're going to go and lift this up. Are you in a good spot?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to come up. If your hole lines up first, let me know.
Right here. Stop.
Okay. Hey, looks like mine lined up really good.
Can you drop like a millimeter?
Yeah.
1 more millimeter. Alright.
I don't know what a millimeter is. I'm from America. Okay,
Well,
I'm gonna.
we don't have measurements that small.
I'm gonna come up just a little bit. We call it a hair.
Hold on, don't move it off. Don't move.
In America, we call it a hair. We don't call it a millimeter.
I like to use scientific words to measure things.
Can I go up a hair?
Yeah. I wouldn't go any further though. I've got my bolts in. I'm good. If you drop it, I can just lower the. Oh, hold on. I got the block out too.
There we go. Not the easiest thing with one hand holding the camera. I gotta come down just a tiny bit. All right, there we go. Okay, we got the safety blocks out. I'm gonna go and lower the lift down, and it's just gonna settle on these bags, like all the way deflated.
All right, my block's out.
Okay, so we've got both the struts in place. We still have to tighten them up. That's not a big deal. We're not going to show that on camera. So according to the pictures in the literature that they gave me, the air fittings are to be out here on the outside. These are just quick push-in air fittings. So that's the way it should sit. So right now the cab is all the way down. I'm gonna just end this video with just that part of the installation. I'm gonna do a second part to do the air system, because we've still got a few hours here. With all these brackets, the air hoses, all the fittings, the leveling valve, all that stuff. And I don't want an hour and a half long video. I just like to keep my videos, you know, under 20 minutes or 30 minutes if I can. So this is the mechanical part of the installation. We're just gonna finish tightening it up. That'll be done. One quick note I wanna show you guys. Here's the stop for the hood. And it says to grease the stop for the hood now, because this cab's gonna be rocking up and down a little bit. And you know, with the arm moment, it's probably not gonna move very much on here, but they still want it greased. Because this part of the cab's probably not going to move very much. It's going to be the back. You know, if the back goes up 3 inches, the front's just going to move a 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch probably. Anyways, I just want to throw that in just so I don't forget to show you guys in the second part of the video. All right, so that's it for part 1 of installing this Monroe truck cab air ride system. This is a 2019. I think it's good for all of the like 2019 and newer. Chevrolet 5500, 4500, 6500 Silverado, you know, cabs or trucks here. Hopefully this makes this truck ride a lot better. That's what we're hoping for. It wasn't really expensive. It was the price was actually very fair. It was a very fair price. So if you guys are looking for one of these, it's not sponsored in any way. I did tell them I'm making a video, but that was after I bought it, just because I didn't want them, in case you didn't want me to do a video on it. But anyways, I'm not sponsoring or nothing. I'm just showing you what we are doing to this truck to make this truck ride better. So, but you could look them up. I think it was monroetruck.com was their website. You can check them out if you're interested in this. I'm going to do a second part of this video, and it's going to be doing the whole air system for it, and then we'll road test it so we can see how it does, and that'll be in the second video. So anyways, thanks for watching, you guys. Please hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. You know, like 80% of my viewers are not subscribers. If you guys would all subscribe, I'd have 100,000 subs. It'd be really nice, you know. And YouTube would take me a little more seriously probably. So anyways, thanks for watching and have a good day.